Good afternoon, everybody. It's Steve Lookner with Right Side Broadcasting coming to you with kind of a crazy story that just happened today. Hawaii residents on their phones received an emergency alert. You can see it over my shoulder that said, ballistic missile threat inbound to Hawaii. Seek immediate shelter. This is not a drill. That's what it said. It said, this is not a drill. Ballistic missile threat inbound to Hawaii. Seek immediate shelter. This is not a drill. But it does turn out that this was a false alarm. Representative Tulsi Gabbard has already tweeted that this was a false alarm. So somehow a false alarm happened where people in Hawaii got this on their phones. They got this emergency alert that said a ballistic missile threat inbound to Hawaii. Seek immediate shelter. This is not a drill. So how did this happen? I saw one person claim that this might be a hacked emergency alert system. I don't know. But let me show you. So this is Representative Tulsi Gabbard. This is what she posted. She is the member of Congress, and she posted, Hawaii. This is a false alarm. There is no incoming missile to Hawaii. I have confirmed with officials there is no incoming missile. So pretty incredible that the representative from Hawaii, one of the congressional representatives from Hawaii, had to actually send out this message when people on their phones got an emergency alert saying this is not a drill. Ballistic missile inbound to Hawaii. I mean, what must you think if you're sitting in Hawaii today and you get that on your phone? Let me just make sure I can check. I want to just check the sound here. Sound seems to be working good. So I'd love to hear what you think about this. Write to me on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. Let me know what you think about all this. This just really happened in the last half hour, and it's just, I can't imagine. Also, you'd think like there would be every precaution such that a false alarm for this could not be sent out to everyone. I mean, from what I understand, this is it's an official channel. It's not like some random Twitter account that sends out alerts like this. This is the official emergency alert system in Hawaii. And they sent out a message that said, ballistic missile threat inbound to Hawaii. Seek immediate shelter. This is not a drill. And Tulsi Gabbard, congressional representative from Hawaii, literally had to send out a message on her Twitter in all capital letters. She sent it out in all caps saying, this is a false alarm. There is no incoming missile to Hawaii. I have confirmed with officials there's no incoming missile. So I want to give you some more updates on this. I've just been hearing about this the last few minutes myself. So give me a second here. Let me get a few more updates on this for you and see if we can find out any more information about this kind of just crazy story. Let's see here. Oh, and another emergency alert has gone out. I'm actually going to show you this right now. We have another, Michelle Broder Van Dyke says, another alert has gone out. You can see it right here. Hang on, I'll show you. It says, who is she, by the way? BuzzFeed News. She says, another alert has gone out. It says, there is no missile threat or danger to the state of Hawaii. Repeat, false alarm. False alarm. So they just sent out an alert in Hawaii, another alert that says false alarm. So to recap, the initial alert you can see over my shoulder in this shot. That was the initial alert. That was like 15 or 20, I think 20 minutes ago, 25 minutes ago, around that. People in Hawaii got this official alert that a ballistic missile was incoming and they had to seek shelter and it wasn't a drill. But they just sent out a few minutes ago, another alert that said, there is no missile threat or danger to the state of Hawaii. Repeat, false alarm. Amazing. Okay. Oh, here's another statement. So U.S. Chad Pergram from Fox reports. Check this out. The U.S. Pacific Command had to say something about it. U.S. Pacific Command, along with Tulsi Gabbard of Hawaii, representative, the U.S. Pacific Command is saying now the alert that Hawaiians got of an incoming missile was false. No imminent attack. So you really have to wonder, just how is it possible that this got sent out, this alert? I mean, it just seems like they would have every precaution to prevent a false incoming missile alert be sent out. The other problem with sending out false alerts, of course, is that it's like a cry wolf situation could happen. Whereas if people start getting false emergency alerts, then the next time they get an emergency alert, they might be like, oh, well, that last one about the missile was false. Maybe this one is false too. So there's a big danger that comes, a big hazard that comes from sending out false alerts like this. So let's see. Look at this, guys. They were talking about it on TV in Hawaii, says Michelle Broder Van Dyke. It says, EMA officials saying now on TV, I guess she's in Hawaii, Michelle Broder Van Dyke. She is in Hawaii. She's their Hawaii correspondent, so I'm assuming she's in Hawaii. And she's just sent out this tweet 10 minutes ago saying, EMA officials now saying on TV that the alert sent to people in Hawaii that said a ballistic missile threat inbound to Hawaii, this is not a drill, was actually a drill. It is a drill. It is a drill. That's amazing. Let me play this. It is a drill. It was a drill.
That is actually a mistake. So that's priority number one on our part, is to confirm whether this is actually real or not. And Vern, we thank you so much for your time this morning to confirm that.
It's a drill. I got to retweet this. Amazing. It was actually a drill. The original message, as you can see over my shoulder here, says, this is not a drill. See, it's not a drill. But then they ended up saying it was actually a drill. So for a drill, they sent out this message that says it's not a drill. I'm so confused here. Amazing. You can see that she has the TV on in Hawaii, and it says this is a drill. From the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency says it's a drill. Wow, unbelievable. Oh, TV had an alert too. She sent this out. I guess she was watching, Michelle Broder Van Dyke was watching TV, and they spoke about it on like a basketball. Let's see. So she's in Hawaii. She's watching TV. Let's see what the TV says.
Stay indoors. If you are outdoors, seek immediate shelter in a building. Remain indoors well away from windows. If you are driving, pull safely to the side of the road and seek shelter in a building or lay on the floor. We will announce when the threat has ended. This is not a drill.
Amazing. So people watching the basketball game on TV in Hawaii, and they're being told, seek shelter. This is not a drill. So that audio message, it didn't just go out on phones. It went out on TV. We just saw on TV they were announcing it too. Crazy. Just nuts. Now, you know what's funny though? She's in Hawaii, and I guess this is what she tweeted out when she first saw this in Hawaii. That's what she got this on her phone, and she tweeted it out, and she said OMG, because she thought it was real. That's when she's in Hawaii, and she got this on her phone, and she was like OMG. So for a moment, she really thought this was happening. I kind of want to tweet that out. The moment Hawaii-based reporter at Michelle BVD, got the alert. Sorry, I had to tweet that out. Hey, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about this false alarm? How does such a thing happen? Give me a shout on Twitter, at Lookner, at Lookner. Jeremy Miller writes, and my kids are 5, 4, and 2. I would fly through every red light to get home to my family. This is unbelievable and reckless. So what Jeremy is saying is, it's a good point, and I heard somebody else say this too. When you get an alert like this, people are going to take action. And people are going to take very extreme action, of course. I mean, imagine if you got an alert like this on your phone. Jeremy's saying, like, if he was out somewhere, he would just speed as fast as he could go home. He would go through red lights and everything. It's very dangerous to have an alert like this go out, you know, if it's false. It can be dangerous if it's true, but it's probably, the idea is it's all for the best if it's true. You accept the danger because it's extreme. But for a false alert like this to go out can be quite dangerous. So thank you, Jeremy, for writing in. Garrett says, I'm worried some Hawaiians don't receive the all clear message and only come out in about 4 months or so. Patrick Hostis writes, incompetent idiots in key positions is the problem. Now, if a real attack happens, nobody will believe it is real. And as I mentioned before, Patrick, yeah, there is a risk here when these false alerts go out, a false alert like this, that the next time people won't believe it or won't respond as fast to it. All right. So write to me if you have comments on this. Ooh, let's see here. Oh, Matt Camper sent me another shot of video from TV on a local TV in Hawaii. I guess a soccer game was on, and they started giving the alert. So let me show you this. That viewer Matt Camper sent me this. Hang on, Matt. I'm going to show this video here. And this was posted by Timothy Burke. Timothy Burke posted this. The moment emergency alert system alert interrupted Hawaiian TV is terrifying. Let's watch this.
Down by Tosin. Free kick to Tottenham. But they're feeling more at home here as the first half comes to an end. And big
The U.S. Pacific Command has detected a missile threat to Hawaii. A missile may impact on land or sea within minutes. This is not a drill. If you are indoors, stay indoors. If you are outdoors, seek immediate shelter in a building. Remain indoors well away from windows. If you are driving, pull safely to the side of the road and seek shelter in a building or lay on the floor. We will announce when the threat has ended. This is not a drill. Take immediate action measures. Repeat.
How crazy is that? Imagine if you're watching TV, you're watching the soccer game, and then you hear this.
as the first half comes to an end, a big
The U.S. Pacific Command has detected a missile threat to Hawaii. A missile may impact on land or sea within minutes. This is not a drill. If you are indoors, stay indoors. If you are outdoors, seek immediate shelter in a building. Remain indoors well away from windows. If you are driving, pull safely to the side of the road and seek shelter in a building or lay on the floor. We will announce when the threat has ended. This is not a drill. Take immediate action measures. Repeat.
Well, that's pretty amazing that happened. That is incredible that happened. You know, it's not like, if you live in Hawaii, you know, it's not unrealistic to think a missile from North Korea could be fired. It's not like crazy to think that. You know, there's been tensions with North Korea. North Korea has been firing off missiles. They threatened to test one and fire a missile at Guam. So it's not. You know, if you get a missile like this, it's not like saying emergency alert. An elephant was spotted flying around. You know, if you get an alert like that, you're gonna be like, well, it's not true. It's entirely believable that a missile could be inbound. So I mean, imagine if you were watching. I can't imagine if I was like watching an NBA game or something here in Atlanta, and all of a sudden an alert came on and said missile inbound. I think it's true. I would just freak out. People must have been panicking there in Hawaii. Just freaking out when they got this alert. So just crazy. So if you guys have if you have other thoughts on this, or you've seen other tweets about this or stuff on social media, give me a shout at Lookner on Twitter, Also, I don't know, is the mainstream media covering this now? They must be covering this right now. Are they? Let me just check. I like to do these little checks once in a while and see. Let's see. Yes, so this is actually a big story now in the mainstream media. So good for them for covering it. But if you like having an alternative to the mainstream media to turn to for your news coverage, you don't have to go to Fox or MSNBC or CNN for this, please consider making a donation, because we are viewer supported here at Right Side Broadcasting. We rely on your donations to stay on the air. So if you like our coverage and you want to donate, you can donate by going to the bottom of the YouTube chat. There's a little $ sign at the bottom of the YouTube chat. Just click on the little $ sign there at the bottom. or go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. Your donations are what lets us stay on the air. And thank you to our moderators who are here with us today, JC and Jan and Lynn Jean, moderating, Barbara Braley moderating the chat for us, and Common Sense and Gleno on the website. So I'm going to do a quick check before I get to some more of your comments. I want to see if there's any more info about this out there. Again, to summarize the story, about 45 minutes ago, I guess now, Hawaii residents, I kid you not, got this alert on their phones: ballistic missile threat inbound to Hawaii, seek immediate shelter, this is not a drill. It also came on, we've already seen a soccer game and a basketball game that were being run on local TV. They interrupted it with the emergency broadcast system, and then they told them this. But now, Tulsi Gabbard, the rep from Hawaii, has come out and said this is a drill, or this is a false alarm. I'll show you just real quick for those of you who joined the broadcast late. So here was the original alert, 8:07. So that's about an hour ago now. People got this at 8:07 a.m. On their phones. That's somebody who got it on their phones. People got it on TV too. After that went out, Tulsi Gabbard, who's a congressional rep from Hawaii, she sent out this. And she sent this out, it looks like about 12 minutes after the alert. And she had to send out this in all capital letters from Tulsi Gabbard: Hawaii, this is a false alarm. There is no incoming missile to Hawaii. I have confirmed with officials there is no incoming missile. So she actually had to send that out to all her followers 12 minutes after the alert. And then we also saw that even the U.S. Pacific Command had to comment on it. As Chad Peregrine reports, U.S. Pacific Command, along with Tulsi Gabbard, says an alert warning of an incoming missile was false, no imminent attack. So how did this happen? How can such a thing happen? Local TV, and we also saw this, that according to Michelle Broder Van Dyke, EMA officials in Hawaii are saying that it actually was a drill. Even though the message said this is not a drill, the emergency management agency in Hawaii is saying it was a drill. How does this happen? So just trying to get some more information for you right now on this crazy, crazy story about this false alarm. Let's see here. Can I find out? I'm just trying to find out like more actual information like on why this happened. I'm seeing a lot of people say it happened on social media, but I want to know more about why it happened. This is interesting. Let's see here. It says CNN's David Shortell, who was in Hawaii, sent this note out moments after the alert. I'm on Marine Corps Bay and Kaneo Bay in Oahu, here with brother who is Navy lieutenant. They've got us in a garage with many other families who were here to rent boats, shutting the doors. So that was actually happened on a Marine Corps Bay, where they had people going into a garage and shutting the doors of the garage for a few minutes. Amazing. Oh, look at this. This is interesting. Now, let's see here. What is this? I want to confirm this report. Check this out. This is interesting. Ooh, this is very interesting. Denver 7 News says NORAD official tells Denver 7 there is absolutely nothing going on, says this is possibly a hack or a very sick joke. I'm going to retweet this. So could this be a hack? Now, what I'm confused about though, here's a reason to think it's not a hack, which is we saw that on Hawaii TV, the Hawaii Emergency Management System, the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency, they were saying this was a drill. So if there was a drill going on today and this message got sent out, that suggests rather than a hack, maybe it was just they were doing this drill and like they sent out the wrong alert message. Maybe they meant to send out a different alert message that said, hey, this is just a false alert. This is just a practice message because we're doing a drill right now. So if it's a hack, it seems weird that the hacked message would be sent out exactly the same time there was a drill. So at least to me, now maybe there wasn't a drill. I don't know. I'm just saying, if there really was a drill at this exact time, it seems odd to me that there would be a hack at the exact same time as the drill. But it's still a huge mistake. However, something that needs to be explained, whether it was a mistake or intentional, how this message got sent out and probably caused great panic in Hawaii today. If you have thoughts or you're hearing more on this, give me a shout on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. DBS Student 927 says, Steve, I would be absolutely terrified. I would have started calling my family and telling them to seek shelter. Who knows the chaos this may have caused? Bruce Rosenthal says, it was actually about 8:07 a.m. when the alert occurred. Was it on TV channels running kids shows? That would terrorize young kids. Not funny, very unprofessional and dangerous. Well, we've already seen clips from a soccer match and a basketball game where the alert ran. I'm guessing it was on all the big networks. I'm not sure. I mean, I would think if you're watching cable, it's on like all the different channels, but I can't confirm that. But I'll show you, as an example, let me show you, we saw this before, but this was a tweet we showed before from Timothy Burke. This was posted by Breaking 911, where this is a soccer game, and you can see what actually happens during the soccer game when they announce the alert. So this is the kind of thing people were seeing on their TVs.
Found by Tosin. Free kick to Tottenham, but they're feeling more at home here as the first half comes to an end.
The U.S. Pacific Command has detected a missile threat to Hawaii. A missile may impact on land or sea within minutes. This is not a drill. If you are indoors, stay indoors. If you are outdoors, seek immediate shelter in a building. Remain indoors well away from windows. If you are driving, pull safely to the side of the road and seek shelter in a building or lay on the floor. We will announce when the threat has ended. This is not a drill. Take immediate action measures. Repeat.
I wonder if this did cause any car accidents, because they say if you're driving, pull over and seek shelter. You can imagine a lot of people. I'm wondering if this went out over like car radios, over satellite radio. I would assume the emergency alert system does apply to radio as well. So were people in their cars and they're on the highway or whatever in Hawaii, or they're just driving around and they hear this message? Did people suddenly pull over or speed off, and were there accidents caused by this? I don't know. I haven't heard of any yet, but I could see it happening. Just checking through some more of your messages here. Game Freak 2 made a donation. Thank you, Game Freak 2, and said, drill is send day before the drill is started. I'm a little confused, Game Freak. You say drill is send day before the drill is started. I'm a little confused. I'm not sure how to interpret that. Feel free to write and clarify. Corey Goodow says, this seems like a hack or a distraction. Caden writes in, this seems like confusion and incompetence to me. Perfect for whatever potential aggressor is out there watching to analyze U.S. response. Plus, why is Tulsi Gabbard doubting the defense systems, inserting herself into a situation of national defense? What next? All alerts have to be passed through her? Well, I think she just saw the alert and wanted to know whether her home state was under missile attack, and she sounds like she clarified pretty quickly it wasn't. And then when she clarified it wasn't, she wanted to get the word out to Hawaii residents that this was a false alarm. Maybe she was concerned that, Hawaii residents would put themselves in danger if they thought this was really, truly happening. So I think, she probably was just doing it for the good of the Hawaii people to send out that message that she sent out saying, hey, this is a false alarm. All right, let me see if I can get more news here for you on this. So we don't really have a firm explanation of this. Jamie Dupree writes, as he says, still no explanation of why Hawaii was warned of an incoming ICBM attack. So we saw one video of them saying, of emergency management the emergency management agency in Hawaii saying on TV this was a drill, but how that doesn't really explain how this happened. How did this false alarm go out? So we don't know yet. Now this is unconfirmed. This is unconfirmed. This I don't even want to show this because this account, no, that's completely unconfirmed. What I just flashed the screen. I'm not even going to report it because I don't even know where that's from. So let's see if I can find anything a little more. We have a tweet from the U.S. Pacific Command. U.S. Pacific Command says, the U.S. Pacific Command has detected no ballistic missile threat to Hawaii. Earlier message was sent in error. State of Hawaii will send out a corrected message as soon as possible. They had a typo in their tweet. It should be as soon as possible. Maybe they were rushing to get this out. They sent this out about a half hour ago. But it's amazing that the U.S. Pacific Command had to send out this tweet saying that there was no missile threat. That's pretty incredible. Wow. Oh, they sent. There's that one. Okay, they just sent out one. Just trying to get some more updates on this situation here. An update from Kristen Holmes of CNN. She says, Hawaii emergency management official headed to operations to check on cause of alert. The warning was a mistake, official tells CNN. It's so funny because, you would just think it's like, there must be safeguards when they send out these alerts. Like you would think somebody, whenever they send out an emergency alert, I would think a couple people have to at least read it and sign off on it. I can't imagine these are just automatically sent out with no human looking at them. So did somebody really read this and sign off on this, maybe more than one person, while knowing this wasn't true? And if they didn't, why did they think it wasn't? It's such a public safety hazard in numerous ways to have this go out. So it's amazing that went out. I don't know if that's ever happened before. Has there ever been an alert like this in the U.S. that went out before on an official channel to thousands or hundreds, probably millions of people? Millions of people might have gotten this alert. Amazing. Oh, this is from Jennifer Griffin. It took 38 minutes for Hawaii to correct the false message. So I guess she's saying from the time we can actually I can actually check this. I'll confirm how long it took them. That's pretty crazy. So the original message went out. I have it right here. I think it was 8:07 local time. Here's the original message. All right, there's the original message right there. That's 8:07 local time. That would have been 1:07 Eastern time. So that's when the original message went out, okay? And then when did Hawaii post the correction message? Well, it looks like, I can't tell exactly. Michelle Broder Van Dyke posted this at 1:47 p.m. So I'm assuming, yeah, it sounds right. I guess it was about, from what Jennifer Griffin said, it took about 38 minutes from the initial false alert for this new alert to go out that said there's no missile threat. So for 38 minutes, they hadn't corrected their alert. However, 12 minutes after the false alert went out, Tulsi Gabbard was already treating it as a false alarm because you can see right here, Tulsi Gabbard tweeted this out. It was like 12 minutes after the initial alert. So she knew pretty quickly that it was a false alarm. But for a good 12 minutes there, at least, because some people maybe didn't even see Tulsi Gabbard's tweet. Not everybody is following Tulsi Gabbard who lives in Hawaii. But for at least 12 minutes, a lot of people in Hawaii, if not pretty much everybody there, thought that they were going to get an incoming ballistic missile. Ballistic missile. Ballistic missile threat. So this is, when you say ballistic missile, that's not like, a little, like a shoulder-fired rocket. That's a big missile. The kind that can carry nuclear weapons. Really crazy. Just crazy. So we'll see if we can find more information on how that got out there. Let's see here. So the Good Virus sent me a tweet I want to show you about something that was going on in response to this in Hawaii. Thank you, the Good Virus. Let me show you guys this. Check this out. It's from Naulu, and it says, "Brah, Hawaii EMA, you got fams out here putting their kids in the storm drains. Thanks a lot." So now I can't confirm this is authentic, but maybe it is. So let's see. It has a lot of views. There's a little language in there. I'm sorry, but it says what the F, but let's show it anyway. Unbelievable. So supposedly that's a video of a family putting their kid into a storm drain when they heard about this alert. Let me play this again. Crazy. Hey, if you guys see stuff on social media relevant to this story that we haven't shown yet, give me a shout on Twitter, @Lookner, @LOOKNER. And again, we are viewer supported. We're an alternative to mainstream media. So if you like our coverage, please consider donating. We rely on your donations to stay on the air. That's the only way we can be on the air is because you guys donate to us. You can donate by going to the bottom of the YouTube chat. Click on the $sign at the bottom of the YouTube chat, or there's a little $sign there at the bottom, or go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. And don't forget, subscribe to us on YouTube. Click the notifications bell so you get notified when we come on the air like this for live videos. All right. I am looking here at my comments. Jenny Simon says, "I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens." I have heard no evidence that it was aliens. Nuka Gaming says, "Do you think it was a drill or a human error?" So I don't know. I just will say, if it's true that a drill was going on, we heard one report that said a drill was going on at the time. That might suggest it wasn't like a hacking thing, that it was just some kind of human error thing. But could it have been a hack? I don't know. I mean, who knows? Hack, human error. What if there was an error? What was it? I don't know at this point. So we'll wait and see if we hear more. Okay, I'm just seeing if I can find some more updates for you on this situation. Any new news about this? This is posted by Noah Gray from CNN. He says, CNN producer David G. Shortell visiting his brother on Marine Base in Hawaii says reports caused a bit of shock and people running around after the alert. Yeah, I'll go to his Twitter, see if he's posting anything. No, he didn't post anything on his Twitter about it. I guess he just told people. Okay, this is a new piece of news here being reported by Amber Jameson of BuzzFeed News. This is a little new report here. Hawaii's Emergency Management Agency spokesman said the agency had been performing a standard drill, and normally an alert would not be sent, so they suspect a technical issue occurred, which could just be a technical issue equals mess up. I would think. It seems like something must have messed up. We have no indication it was any kind of hacking. So again, according to Amber Jameson of BuzzFeed News, Hawaii's Emergency Management Agency is saying there was a standard drill going on at the time, and normally an alert would not be sent, but they don't think it was a hack. They think it was some kind of technical error. So they were today doing some sort of drill to practice, I guess, for an incoming missile, and somehow during this drill, an alert got sent out to people that said this is not a drill. I don't know how that happens, but that's at least what the Emergency Management Agency in Hawaii is saying right now, that there was a drill going on. They have no indication it was hacking. We got a donation, by the way, from TM3000. Thank you, TM3000. Appreciate your support. TM3000 writes in it, Jesus bless America. So thank you for your donation. So at least the Emergency Management Agency does not believe this was a hack. They were conducting a drill at the time. And as I said before, it would seem odd that if this was a hack of some sort, it was timed exactly when the drill happened. It seems like if they were having a drill at the time, that something must have gone wrong with the drill and they sent out this message that should never have been sent out. How this got sent out, who knows? It seems like this should never, shouldn't even come. There should be so many safeguards before a false message like this gets sent out, but it got sent out. Oh, here's a little clip that CNN posted. CNN just posted a tweet. And it says, CNN producer David Shortell, who received the false alert in Hawaii, said, there was a bit of running and shouting after that. People were nervous. So let's see if we can get a quote here.
I'm here on a Marine Corps base, Hawaii, in Kaneohe Bay, about 10 miles north of Honolulu on the island of Oahu. And we were here to go boating. There's a little facility where you can rent boats if you have a military personnel in your family. I'm here with my brother, who's a Navy lieutenant. And 8:07, we all got this alert, all capital letters, ballistic missile threat, inbound to Hawaii, seek immediate shelter. This is not a drill. There was a bit of running and shouting after that, and the people here on the base, a lot of civilians and not all military personnel where I am. I'm obviously not in the military. But we then gathered our family. The people were nervous, and the civilian staff here at the boat launch took us into a garage. There were about 30 people here with young children, some dogs, and a lot of military personnel as well. And people were nervous, Martin.
Well, David, what would you do? Did you even think of going somewhere? What were your first thoughts?
First immediate thought was get the family together. We were all kind of split up. I was filling up an inflatable tube. Some people were loading our boat with food. Thank goodness we weren't out on the boat in the water already when we got this alert. There are air raid sirens here on the base. They did not go off, but we all got this pretty alarming alert on our smartphones. So we gathered a family.
Did you see others around you that
together?
Did you see others around you that seemed to be reacting to the same kind of message?
Yeah, for sure. It was a bit of shock at first. People didn't really know what to do. It was nice in the alert. It says this is not a drill. So people thought, okay, let's get together and let's hunker down. We are on a military base, so there was a bit of calm around us. But as I said, a lot of civilian personnel here. So the staff was very professional. They are civilian staff, but they gathered us in a garage. They shut the doors, and we were in there for a pretty harrowing 15 minutes before we first saw the tweets from Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, and then about a minute later from the Emergency Management Agency here in Hawaii. It wasn't until about nearly 40 minutes later that the official alert went out, but by then people had, realized this was just a false alarm.
Yeah.
Wow. So must have been crazy when people in Hawaii got this alert and they thought it was real and it said this is not a drill. But after about like 15 minutes or so, they found out it was a drill. And it was a mistake. It was a false alarm. And let me show you here. This was sent out by Oahu Emergency Management. This looks like it was sent out about 28 minutes after the alert went out. And Oahu Emergency Management sent out a tweet about 28 minutes after the alert went out that said, "State Warning Point has issued a missile alert in error. There is no threat to the state of Hawaii." And then you can see the person who commented at the bottom says, "WTF, why so late with the notice? Unacceptable." And then somebody else, Pouncy Cat, made a comment and it said, "You guys made everyone panic. Whoever did this should be fired. Now no one will believe it the next time it happens." JM replied to this by saying, "An unforgivable error. I hope someone will be released from their job at the end of the investigation." There will be an investigation, right? So a lot of people very angry in Hawaii about this. And as I said before, according to the Emergency Management Agency in Hawaii, this doesn't appear to be hacking, as Shimon Prakupet says, but we already read that report from Amber Jameson where the Emergency Management Agency in Hawaii said they had been performing a drill today. Somehow this message got sent out in error, but they said they have no indication it was any kind of hacking. So let me see if I can find more info for you. If you're seeing more news about this in social media stuff, anything we haven't shown yet that we can share, happy to share it with our audience. Give me a shout on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. Also, I post about breaking news all the time on my Twitter. So if you like breaking news, even when I'm not on the air, I post round the clock. If you like breaking news, follow me on Twitter at Lookner. Thanks again to our moderators for moderating the chat rooms today. Much appreciated. Here is a message from Stephen Portnoy from CBS News. And he says, lots of questions for FEMA, the FCC, and Hawaii EMA. Why did the alert go out? What good is the new WEA system, which reaches everyone with a smartphone without their opting in, if it's susceptible to such errors? So according to Stephen Portnoy, he's saying this is something that you get on your phone without choosing to get it on your phone. Now, I get them here in Atlanta, and I have never signed up for it. You just get it. But he's saying, what good is the system if it's susceptible to such errors? Thank you, Edie Marie Loves Trump, for your donation. And she said, seeing storm drain video hurts as a parent. She says, seeing a storm drain video, your heart hurts as a parent. Thank you for the donation, Edie Marie. Let me show you that video real quick again. So this is making its way around social media right now, of the video of the parents putting their kid into a storm drain in Hawaii during the missile alert. Here it is. From Nalu, it says, brah, Hawaii EMA, you got fams out here putting their kids in the storm drains. Thanks a lot. Unreal. Oh, the senator from Hawaii, one of the senators sent out a tweet. This is Senator Mazie Hirono from Hawaii. She says, today's alert was a false alarm. At a time of heightened tensions, we need to make sure all information released to the community is accurate. We need to get to the bottom of what happened and make sure it never happens again. That is Mazie Hirono. I'm going to retweet that. She is one of the senators from Hawaii. I'm just retweeting that, guys. Give me 1 second. Okay. Now I want to check. Sorry, I haven't checked your comments in a second. I've been catching up on the news here. One of our viewers, Edward Briley, writes in and he says, just want to let you know the time it takes a missile from the time it is launched from North Korea to hit Hawaii is 20 minutes or less. So if they do not use a totally automated system, it will take precious time to confirm it has happened. So now I can't confirm that amount of time that Edward says. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a short time. My point is, though, I would think that someone at least checks. It doesn't take that long for someone on duty to check an alert before it goes out. A few seconds maybe. So I would think that for messages like this, some human checks it before it goes out. Maybe I'm wrong, but I would think they do. I would think they have to have somebody there because, I mean, somebody has to be there to be willing to type a new message if a new situation happens. So I'm surprised that there wasn't some kind of human check on this. You know, I haven't checked my email in ages, so I apologize if I was ignoring people. Mike Chervin writes in and he says, in Tulsi Gabbard's text message, the pic of the false alert was much larger than her text message. Had I received her tweet, it would have appeared to be a confirmation rather than a correction. So let's look at that tweet again from Tulsi Gabbard when she sent it out 12 minutes after the false alert went out. And then I have another video to play you. So this was the tweet from Tulsi Gabbard, and what you're saying is if you see it on your feed, what our viewer Mike is saying is, look, if you were reading Twitter and this came up, what Mike is saying, the way she tweeted this out is the part of the tweet with the picture of the false alert is much bigger than what she wrote. Now, that was not her intention. She wrote it in all caps. But what you're saying, Mike, what some people might have seen this who hadn't even seen the alert yet, and then they see this tweet from Tulsi Gabbard, and they immediately see the photo, and then they don't read what she says, and they freak out. Could have happened. Interesting point, Mike. I'm sure this was not intentional on her part, but that's an interesting point you make. All right, let me show you. I have another... CNN posted another witness account of this that I want to show you. Let me just get it up on the screen here for you. Here it is. So this says, this is Hawaii State Representative Matt Lopresti. He says, I was sitting in the bathtub with my children saying our prayers. He said this in an emotional interview after the false missile alert. Let's hear some of this interview.
Wake up to several phone calls and alerts on my phone, and we get the warning that there's an incoming missile. I live in an area where if they hit what they were aiming at, we're in the hot zone for radioactive fallout. So we took shelter immediately in the most inner room of our home. I was sitting in the bathtub with my children saying our prayers and fielding phone calls and messages from friends, family, and colleagues telling them all to take shelter immediately. And was wondering why we couldn't hear the emergency sirens. I didn't understand that. And that was my first clue that maybe something was wrong, whether a hack or an error, but we took it as seriously as a heart attack. Mm-hmm. And like I said, we were in our tub in the bathroom with my children saying our prayers. So I'm extremely angry right now.
I am sure.
Somebody should lose their job if this was an error. The good takeaway is that everybody here and on the mainland should take this as an opportunity to think about what are you going to do with your family in 10 to 15 minutes before that impact. Do your children know where your emergency food supplies are? That's what I was telling my children in the bathtub. You remember where Daddy put all our emergency supplies? And do you know how to get to it if something happens to me? You know, so what I'm really just beside myself about is why does it take 38 minutes for us to get a false alarm notice, which it took that long, and it only takes 15 minutes for impact. That's completely unacceptable.
So that was Hawaii State Rep Matt Lopresti, who said he was in the bathtub with his children when they got this, right after they got that false alarm, the missile alert. They didn't know it was a false alarm. And he also pointed out at the end, he's very upset that it took the state of Hawaii 38 minutes from the initial message that went out and said there's an incoming missile, this is not a drill, and then 38 minutes later they sent out the emergency alert that's on your screen there that says there's no missile threat, false alarms. He's like, why did that take 38 minutes to get that corrected? And also, you know, it's interesting, he and somebody who works for CNN who was in Hawaii, they both commented, they said, well, we got this alert and people were like upset about it, and there was some kind of, people were were worried and concerned, but they also both said they noticed that the air sirens weren't going off. I guess they have sirens that go off if there's some incoming missile threat. There's these sirens that are supposed to go off, and both he and this other person who works for CNN who was in Hawaii at the time said, we didn't hear those sirens. And Matt Lopresti actually in this interview said, that was my first clue this might be a false alarm, is because I didn't hear the air raid sirens. So that's an interesting point. Now, here's another thing I just noticed. I haven't seen this clip yet. Let me watch it. And it says, breaking 911 posts, Hawaii Rep. Tulsi Gabbard politicizes false missile alert, saying our leaders have failed us. Donald Trump is taking too long. He's not taking this threat seriously. I haven't watched the clip, so I can't tell if she's, the politicizing it part is breaking 911's opinion. But let's watch the clip of the interview anyway, where she says this.
And our leaders have failed us. Donald Trump is taking too long. He's not taking this threat seriously. And there's no time to waste. We've got to get rid of this nuclear threat from North Korea. We've got to achieve peace. Not play politics, but achieve peace, because this is literally life and death that is at stake for the people of Hawaii and the people of this country.
So that's Representative Tulsi Gabbard today in an interview talking about President Trump. You're watching Right Side Broadcasting's live continuing coverage of this false alert, this false alarm inbound missile alert. Look, it said ballistic missile threat inbound to Hawaii. People actually got this on their phones and on their TVs. And it took like 12 minutes before Representative Tulsi Gabbard sent out a tweet saying, no, this is a false alarm. So for at least like a good 10 minutes, it seems like people thought this was really happening. It turns out it was a false alarm. The governor of Hawaii has issued a statement. This is from the governor of Hawaii. While I am thankful this morning's alert was a false alarm, the public must have confidence in our emergency alert system. I am working to get to the bottom of this so we can prevent an error of this type in the future. So that is from the governor of Hawaii, David, Ige, is that what it is? Ige? But that's from the Hawaii governor. That's what he says. So this is Right Side Broadcasting. We've been covering this for a while now, and we're taking your comments on the air. If you have comments about this, or if you see interesting news about this on social media, say that we haven't reported yet, give me a shout on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner, so I can share it with the viewers. Also, we are a viewer-supported network. If you like, we do little things. If you like the coverage, we do little things little differently from the mainstream media here at Right Side Broadcasting. So if you like our coverage, please consider donating, because it's your donations that keep us on the air. We are viewer-supported. If you want to donate, go to the bottom of the YouTube chat, click on the $sign at the bottom of the YouTube chat, or go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. And we really appreciate our moderators who've been moderating our chat rooms today, Common Sense and Gleno on the website. In YouTube, we got JC, Real Frank, Jan, Lynn Jean, and I think we've had other moderators there too. So thank you guys for moderating the chat. So we're going to keep bringing you updated news on this story and reading your comments as well. Just want to check and see if there's more updated news here. Another quote. This is amazing. Wow. Check out this from Simone Prokupets. Simone Prokupets, who works for CNN. Look at the first one. According to CNN, missile alert went out after the wrong button was pushed during shift change. I kid you not. According to CNN, missile alert went out after the wrong button was pushed during a shift change. And furthermore, Shimon Prokopet says, this is according to the governor of Hawaii. The governor of Hawaii told CNN, it was a mistake made during a standard procedure at the changeover of a shift, and an employee pushed the wrong button. Huh? The warning went out to cell phones, television, and radio got the emergency alert? Huh? So crazy. So, yeah, I was going to say, so one button can cause this. That's amazing. Let me say this again. According to the governor of Hawaii, It was a mistake made during a standard procedure at the changeover of a shift, and an employee pushed the wrong button? I don't know if it can be that simple. I don't think they have one button that just says send out this one alert. It seems like they would have to do a little more than pressing one button. That's just amazing. It's amazing that that's the reason being given. So it seems kind of odd. JC, one of our moderators, writes in and says, Steve, is the president going to speak on this? Off the top of my head, I don't think he'll actually do a statement on this. If he's doing some sort of appearance with the press anyway and they ask him, might he say something about it? Sure. Might he tweet about it? I could see him tweeting about it. Maybe he'll tweet about it now that Tulsi Gabbard has gone on MSNBC and said, in the aftermath of this, President Trump has to solve this issue faster or something like that. What did she say, Tulsi Gabbard? She was critical of President Trump in the aftermath of this, so maybe he'll say something about that. Maybe he'll just tweet about this in general. I don't know, but we'll see. Not a leftist says, obviously this is bad, but at least we know that the system works. Well, the fact that it works in the sense it gets messages out, but if they're false messages, I don't know if that really means the system is working. Okay, let me get to some more of your comments here. Ophelia is not buying this. Ophelia says, our viewer Ophelia writes in and says that's bull about the comment, about the explanation from the governor. Patriot Nurse Hawaii says, yes, there is a siren alarm in Hawaii for these kind of situations. The air raid missile alarm sound is different too. So from what Patriot Nurse Hawaii is saying, they have a specific siren sound that goes off for air raids and missiles. And from what we've heard today, that didn't go off. People just got this message. They got the message on their phones and on the TV saying a missile was in the missile threat. There was a missile threat, ballistic missile threat. Chris Lee writes in, let me just say, Tulsi Gabbard is to be thanked for getting the false alarm news out first to all of us here in Hawaii. State officials and local news were silent for 35 minutes. It was nerve-wracking. Tweets about police scanners saying false alarm 4 minutes in also. That's interesting. So our viewer Chris Lee says that it sounds like Chris is in Hawaii. Yeah, Chris, it says representing Kona. So I believe Chris is in Hawaii. And Chris says that there are tweets out there that he has seen he saw tweets that police scanners were saying this was false 4 minutes after the alert went out. But that's just internal police chatter. That's not anything that was released to the public. And I know 12 minutes after the false alarm went out, Tulsi Gabbard posted, hey, this is a false alarm. But it took 38 minutes for the official tweet to go out saying officially this was a false alarm. Barbara LaFrance says, Fox News just did a phone interview with the governor. He never mentioned a wrong button in that interview. Well, he mentioned it when he was talking to CNN, so. Angela said, so the governor of Hawaii said this was caused by an employee pushing the wrong button. And our viewer Angela writes in, aren't there codes that need to be entered first? You would think it's just not one button. Our viewer Chuck Boyce Jr. sent me a meme. This is from our viewer Chuck Boyce Jr. There you go. Okay, let me check on the news here, see if there are any more updates about this. Ooh, what is this? This is from U.S. Senator Here's the comment from the other U.S. Senator, Brian Schatz, U.S. Senator from Hawaii. He says, again, false alarm. What happened today is totally inexcusable. The whole state was terrified. There needs to be tough and quick accountability and a fixed process. So this is from the other U.S. Senator from Hawaii. We heard from one senator. This is the other one from Brian Schatz. He says this was totally inexcusable, and the whole state was terrified. There needs to be tough and quick accountability and a fixed process. Hey, I want to retweet this. Wow. A lot of angry people there. And just to reiterate here, this was what the governor of Hawaii told CNN. The governor of Hawaii told CNN it was a mistake made during a standard procedure at the changeover of a shift, and an employee pushed the wrong button. The warning went out to cell phones, television, and radio got the emergency alert. All right, so let's do a little recap here for people who joined the broadcast late. Let's just do a very brief recap before we get to like new stuff about this. So first of all, what happened is at 8:07 a.m. Hawaii time, this message went out to people on their phones. Ballistic missile threat inbound to Hawaii. Seek immediate shelter. This is not a drill. Very scary. That went out, and then people on their TVs saw alerts as well. So for example, as I'll show you this again, this was posted by Timothy Burke. People watching their TVs saw alert messages like this.
Free kick to Tottenham, but they're feeling more at home here as the first half comes to an end. And big 10 Premier League games here. Tosin has put himself about, but it's Heung-min Son's goal that separates the sides. At half-time, we'll be showing you.
The U.S. Pacific Command has detected a missile threat to Hawaii. A missile may impact on land or sea within minutes. This is not a drill. If you are indoors, stay indoors. If you are outdoors, seek immediate shelter in a building. Remain indoors well away from windows. If you are driving, pull safely to the side of the road and seek shelter in a building or lay on the floor. We will announce when the threat has ended. This is not a drill. Take immediate action measures. Repeat.
You know what's interesting about that message that they broadcast on TV? It sounds like it's a computer synthesized voice. So I wonder why they do that. Like, I guess maybe they want to get the message out so fast, they figure we don't have time to record somebody saying this. So they just type the message in and have the computer synthesized voice read it. I guess. I mean, I don't know for sure, but that's what it sounds like to me. Anyway, so that alert went out. And of course, you had some people freaking out in Hawaii. For example, reportedly, this is a video of people putting their kid in the storm drain here. So these alerts go out, people are freaking out there, and then what happens is, and then like there's a reporter for BuzzFeed News. When she got the alert, she was in Hawaii, she just did this. So she was freaking out. But what happened is, within 12 minutes, Representative Tulsi Gabbard had tweeted this out. Hawaii, this is a false alarm. There is no incoming missile to Hawaii. I have confirmed with officials there is no incoming missile. So she sent that out 12 minutes after the initial false alarm alert went out. And then, finally, 38 minutes after the initial false alarm was sent out, then finally an emergency alert went out. That was 38 minutes later. A second emergency alert went out and said, there is no missile threat or danger to the state of Hawaii. Repeat, false alarm. So it took 38 minutes for the official emergency alert to go out that was a false alarm. And why did this happen? Well, we have this reporting from CNN that says, and Shimon Prokupets, which says, according to the governor of Hawaii, it was a mistake made during a standard procedure at the changeover of a shift, and an employee pushed the wrong button. That's right. The governor of Hawaii said this was caused because an employee pushed the wrong button. The warning went out to cell phones, television, and radio. Television and radio got the emergency alert. Thank you, by the way, for the donation to Christine Bestjen. Thank you, Christine. She says, sending prayers of comfort to residents of Hawaii. We appreciate your donations. Your donations are what keeps us on the air and allows us to do these news broadcasts. So we appreciate your donations. If you'd like to donate, go to the bottom of the YouTube chat, click on the $sign, the little $sign there at the bottom of the YouTube chat, or go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. We are viewer supported, so thank you for your donations. Thank you to the moderators who've been moderating the chat room today. So we take your comments here at Right Side Broadcasting. So if you have comments on this story, or you're hearing new news updates about this, seeing new stuff on social media, give me a shout on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. And subscribe to us on YouTube. Click on the notifications bell so you get notified about when our broadcasts. And follow us on Facebook, Right Side Broadcasting. Hello to everybody watching on Facebook as well as YouTube. Chris Douglas made a donation. Chris Douglas says, this donation is in response to YouTube not sending out a notification once again. I'm very sorry, Chris. Now, I got a notification for this broadcast today. Chris, you might want to check today if they've unchecked. Once in a while, people say, I was subscribed, and then I've checked my notification settings, and YouTube has unsubscribed me to different channels. So you might want to check your notification settings if you didn't get a notification for today. Farty Britches made a donation and said, King Jeremy the Wicked. Thank you, Farty Britches. Really appreciate that. That helps us stay on the air. So thank you. Cyrus Leone says, Steve, the Fox is reporting the Japanese also had an alert. How did the wrong button get pressed affect the Japanese? So I haven't heard the Japanese having an alert report. I will say this off the top of my head, Cyrus, it certainly seems possible that Japan could have heard about the Hawaii alert and then sent out their own alert if they heard about the Hawaii alert. That could have happened. So it didn't necessarily have to be internally generated from Japan. But I'll do a little research here and see if I can find anything about it. I'm not seeing anything on social media about a Japanese alert. But if there was one, it might have just been because they saw the Hawaii alert. But if you hear more about that in the media or something, give me a shout. Oh, Pete Tudsbury sent me a couple of things. Thank you, Pete Tudsbury. So let me show you a couple of these things. Cool. Sorry, Pete Tudsbury, I just saw your message. Where is this from? Hold on a second here. Couple things to show you guys. Here we go. This is from Sarah Donshi, who was a news anchor who was in Honolulu, and says, this is my phone when I woke up just now. I'm in Honolulu, and my family is on the North Shore. They were hiding in the garage. My mom and sister were crying. It was a false alarm, but I'm betting a lot of people are shaken. So she was getting messages that said, honey, take shelter. I love you. If you're sleeping, wake up and call us immediately. So that's the kind of thing that was going on there in Hawaii today. Thank you, Pete Tudsbury, for sending that in. Thank you, Tia Marie, for the donation. Tia Marie says, thank you, RSBN, for the best news coverage. God bless. Thank you, Tia Marie. Thank you for donating and helping us cover the news. I'll retweet that. All right, what else did I want to show you here? Miss Rob Mob made a donation. Thank you, Miss Rob Mob. And she said, such a mess, praying for all in Hawaii to have peace and calm after this inexcusable and terrible error. Thank you, Miss Rob Mob. Very much appreciated. We played a bit of this interview before, but just to reiterate, State Rep from Hawaii, Matt Lopresti, said, we took shelter immediately. I was sitting in the bathtub with my children saying our prayers. I'm extremely angry right now. Thank you, Pete Tudsbury, for sending in your different news items there. I have one other thing I want to see here. This is another quote from the Hawaii governor that Pete Tudsbury sent me. It says, Hawaii Governor Ige, or IG, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I am meeting this morning with top officials of the State Department of Defense and the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency to determine what caused this morning's false alarm and prevent it from ever happening again. Now, he also told CNN it was because somebody pressed the wrong button. Oh, here's another quote from Tulsi Gabbard. It says, what the people of Hawaii went through is a true realization that they've got 15 minutes to get to shelter or they're going to be dead, gone. So let's hear this quote from Tulsi Gabbard.
The people of Hawaii have been briefed that should they get an alert, such as the one that they got today, they've got 15 minutes to seek shelter, to protect themselves and their families. There are not nuclear bomb shelters in Hawaii, not very many of them, what to speak of any of them being within 15 minutes of someone's home or job or school. So this points to what the people of Hawaii went through, what my family and so many families in Hawaii just went through, is a true realization that they've got 15 minutes to find some form of shelter or they're going to be dead, gone.
That's Congressional Representative Tulsi Gabbard. Hey, thank you, Drew Lyons, for the donation. Much appreciated. Here's a report that was done from Hawaii by MSNBC's Jacob Sabaroff this morning. Let's hear what he has to say, or had to say.
Take a look. So out of the distance, quite frankly, this is the last day of a long reporting trip here. We're going to shoot some stand-ups and then head back to Los Angeles. We're in the water where those people are surfing, right out there. Not a siren to be heard. Not a word was spoken of it out in the water. Not a word was spoken of it once we got back to shore. We actually were about to have breakfast and meet our colleague, Sky from NBC Left Field. And she basically ran up to us with a terrified look on her face. And she said, did you guys hear what happened? And I'm actually astonished that we hadn't heard what happened before. So we basically, there was about 30 minutes in between the time that alert went out and then we actually learned that it had happened. And that's part of the challenge. If people don't have their cell phones handy, if they're not sitting in front of a television, if they don't have their AM/FM radio on, you're not going to get that word, and you're not, frankly, going to be able to shelter in place in time. It bears repeating how fast this would all play out if it actually did play out. Thank goodness again that it didn't, but it's a matter of minutes. It's less than 20 minutes, less than 10 minutes between the time that alert officially goes out and the time you would have to shelter in place. And for at least the tourists here in the Waikiki part of the island of Oahu, it was relatively business as usual, I have to say. There was not running, there was not screaming. Sky said she was in the gym when this all happened, and people in the gym saw this happening on television, and it was business as usual. I think that it doesn't mean they're not preparing here, but it means I bet you there's a lot to learn from what transpired this morning here on Oahu and throughout the islands.
So when he says it was business as usual, what I can't tell is Is it because people like didn't have their cell phones with them and hadn't heard about the alert? Or, there was only about 12 minutes between the time the alert went out and the time Tulsi Gabbard sent out a tweet saying this is a false alarm. So was it business as usual because people thought it was a false alarm? We've seen other videos that said we've seen other people say, I was in my bathtub, we were hiding in a garage. There's a video purportedly of people putting their kid in a storm drain. So it does seem that in a lot of Hawaii, a lot of people were very panicked about this. Hey, thank you to Ian Lane for the donation. Ian says, I hope they paint that button red. Ian is referring to the button that was supposedly accidentally pushed by an employee that sent this message out, according to the governor of Hawaii. And we also got a donation from, where did it go? Let's see. Christine Bestgen says, can you open phone lines so Hawaii residents can call you? Unfortunately, the studio I'm in now, Christine, we don't really have that set up yet. We're trying to work on doing that, but I don't have that set up, so I'm sorry, Christine, about that. There's a little technical stuff involved in doing that. J. McG gave a donation. Thank you, J. McG. That's very nice of you. We'll just that'll just help us stay on the air and cover more news, so thank you. So we're going to try to get you more updates on this situation here in Hawaii with this false missile alarm. And this is a point I was saying before, and this is a point that a bunch of people have been making today. This is a point that Strat2 Intel, this person or people who does this account, says either way, people will be less inclined to take cover next time, just like when a tornado warning goes bad. Yeah, it's a big risk with false alarms that if there's a real missile threat, maybe people will think it's a false alarm and they won't take cover next time it happens. The White House tells NBC News President Trump has been briefed on Hawaii's emergency management exercise. So the White House official tells NBC President Trump has been briefed. No comment yet from the White House. President Trump, as far as I'm aware, has not tweeted about it yet. If you're hearing more, this is interesting. Hang on one sec, guys. By the way, real quick, I have to do maybe we'll do a stream about this later, but just to let you know, another piece of news that's been happening today, Trey Gowdy is resigning from the Ethics Committee and of the House, and I need to go do some more reading about this, but just letting you know that happened, so I'll be looking into this after this broadcast. Okay, if you have comments on this false alarm or new information about it, give me a shout on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. Thanks, Down with Data. You sent me a YouTube video supposedly of somebody's reaction, but I can't show a YouTube video on another YouTube stream. That's a no-no on YouTube. Guy Ingham says, okay, let's say like what the governor said is right and it's only one button to send alerts. You would think it would have a cover on the button, which must be lifted before the button can be pushed. I don't know what the situation is there, if there's one button or if he was just sort of loosely speaking, the governor at the time. The governor claims an employee pressed the wrong button and that's why this message went out. Zero Immigration says the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency website is down. Let's see if we can confirm that. No, it's working. There it is. State of Hawaii Emergency Management Agency. So it is not down. Okay, let me see if I can find anything else here coming out about this. Christine Bestjen, one of our viewers, writes in, one would think you would have a backup error message alert, as in, are you sure you wish to send this emergency alert? I would think the warning would be defaulted to no and would have to be overridden with a password or at least a second person to confirm. 2 keys, 2 people required. Seriously unacceptable. Thank you for covering this great job. And to all who are wondering where President Trump's comments on this, remember what happened at Charlottesville and how that all backfired. So Christine's main point is she thinks it's crazy to think that there weren't safeguards and there aren't people that it's not a case where multiple people have to sign off on something like this before it actually gets sent out. Just catching up on some of your messages here. So it looks like later today there's going to be a press conference. It's not soon because that's 1 p.m. I think that's in 3 hours. I think that's 6 p.m. Eastern time, which would be a little less than 3 hours from now. So there will be a press conference from this, according to Hawaii News Now, but that's 1 p.m. Hawaii time. Ooh, this is interesting. Look at this from Hawaii News Now. Signs on Hawaii freeways read, missile alert in error. There is no threat. Look at that picture. It actually says it on the freeway sign. Missile alert in error. There is no threat. Here's this. I'm reading this story from Hawaii News Now about this. Oh, hang on a second. Let me just pause this. From Hawaii News Now. And there's a quote in here that says, cell phones were overloaded while the Hawaii Emergency Management website appeared to crash. As of 8:50 a.m., the website had not yet been restored online, but it's been restored now. I just checked it. All right. By the way, I don't know about the website Hawaii News. I don't know how much of a Twitter feed it is if they have nothing about this, but they haven't even posted until since December 13th. Anyways, come on, Hawaii News. If you're Hawaii News, you got to cover this. But Hawaii News Now has a lot of coverage. I wonder if the Hawaii EMA posted anything else about this afterwards. The only thing Hawaii EMA has up on their Twitter feed is just no missile threat to Hawaii. That's from 2 hours ago, but no explanation or anything. So nothing really from Hawaii EMA about this except one tweet that says no missile threat to Hawaii. All right. I'm making a last call for comments. We're going to wrap this up in a few minutes here. So if you have more comments on the story you want to get in, or you have stuff from social media or news updates that you've seen, give me a shout on Twitter, @Lookner, @Lookner. Feel free to follow me at @Lookner on Twitter too. I post about breaking news all the time, around the clock. And if I hear more today about the Hawaii story, I will definitely post about it. So you can follow me on Twitter at @Lookner. And you can follow Right Side Broadcasting on Twitter at @RSB Network, @RSB Network. Viewer Stephen Blashovsky says, this is one reason why deliberately increasing diplomatic tensions is so dangerous. So you're saying when there's more diplomatic tension, people might be, you're saying there's more of a chance of something like this going out, or people might react even more extremely to something like this going out, Stephen? Stepan says it. It's not Stephen, Stepan. Honorable Eternal Dictator for the First 8 Horses says, just researched this report of a Japan missile warning today. A Japan missile warning didn't happen at all, according to one of our viewers. Thank you. Karen L. Berry writes in, it's easiest for people to finger one employee than take responsibility for their errors, just like when Trump's account got canceled for 11 minutes. Based Blue Gropier says, anyone dumb enough to ignore a missile warning after one false alarm kind of deserves whatever they get. Lyd Darwin. World According to S writes in, this button story is pure BS. The warning was specific to a missile launch. Do they have a separate red button for volcano eruptions, tsunamis, lava flows, other potential disaster events? This had to be done intentionally. Well, I'll say this, World According to S, as I said before, it seems odd that you could press one, that I said this before, like you said, that there would be one button just for this specific alert. It would seem more like there would be this procedure they would have to go through to send out this alert, like type it in or choose it and approve it. So it sounds a little bit simplistic to say, well, somebody pushed the wrong button. Now, I didn't hear the actual interview where the governor said this to CNN, and maybe he was just, talking loosely, but it seems like it's got to be more than just somebody pressing the wrong button. All right, let me just make sure there's no news I'm missing here on this. And as I said before, CNN is reporting this. Caitlin Collins says, Hawaii Governor David Ige says the reason an emergency alert was sent out claiming a ballistic missile threat was inbound to Hawaii was because an employee pushed the wrong button. Now, he's supposed to do a press conference in a couple hours from now, so maybe we'll hear more when he does a press conference, get a little more information on this. Oh, this is interesting. Lisa Fierman, now who's she with? She's with MSNBC. She says, a big issue with today's false alarm, how long it took for an official alert to go out saying it was, in fact, a false alarm. I received this text from a dear friend describing her family in Hawaii's experience and how tweets were what revealed there was no real threat. Scary. So these messages here say, I was on the phone with my cousins and we thought they were going to die. They were in traffic and it was mass chaos, people getting out of cars and running and looking at the sky. Other cousin was in the airport and people were sobbing. Your tweet was the thing I saw. Your tweet was the thing I saw to say false alarm. OMG. So that's an amazing quote where it says, people were in traffic and it was mass chaos, people getting out of cars and running and looking at the sky. Wow. I'm going to retweet that in a second. Hang on a second here. Oh, let's see here. She also tweets, someone else I know went to a makeshift shelter with a bottle of wine and bottles of pills. The stories coming out are nuts, my friend adds. My heart is breaking. No doubt a major investigation is underway, and as a result, someone must be held accountable for today. Jake Tapper sent this out. So sorry for all the people in Hawaii who went through that. We know someone who's there with her family, crying in closet, texting goodbyes to loved ones, husband shielding their baby. Sounds traumatic. Hang in there, folks. Maureen McCormick writes, the actor-author says, my family in Hawaii got a phone alert and hid in the bathroom with kids for a good 10 minutes thinking this is going to be it. So terrifying. All right. Oh, here's another picture of the signs in Hawaii on the freeways. The electronic signs on the freeways saying "missile alert in error. There is no threat." So that's what you see if you're driving in Honolulu right now. Nicholas writes in, Steve, the next time if a real missile threat is on alert, people probably won't be aware about it, which does have me worried if a real one is happening. Thank you, Steve and RSBN, for covering. Oh, Honorable Eternal Dictator, the first 8 horses, sent me this tweet. Hold on a second. Let me get this up on the screen for you. FCC Director Ajit Pai says the FCC is launching a full investigation into the false emergency alert that was sent to residents of Hawaii. So the FCC will be looking into it. Our viewer Andrew Sova writes in, the boy who cried wolf is becoming a reality thanks to the bogus alert in Hawaii. So we in a minute are going to wrap this up. If you've been enjoying our coverage today and enjoying having an alternative to the mainstream media for your news coverage, please consider donating. We are a viewer-supported network. We rely on your donations to stay on the air. So if you want to donate, go to the bottom of the YouTube chat. Click on the dollar sign at the bottom of the YouTube chat. There's a little dollar symbol there. Speaking of which, Max Mad made a donation. Thank you, Max Mad. Max Mad says, now remember, Hawaii is a Democratic state run mostly by Democrats. As a veteran, I believe they should be held accountable for this stupid mistake. Well, Max, thank you for your donation. And thank you, everybody else who's been donating today. So that allows us to do this. And if you're not watching on YouTube, you can also donate at rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. And subscribe to us on YouTube and click the notifications bell so you can figure out when we're on the air with these live breaking news videos. Let me just check a couple more things here. So I will post later today if there's more breaking news about this. You can follow me on Twitter at Lookner for breaking news coverage at Lookner. And, okay, I think we're going to wrap up our coverage now. Very much appreciate you all joining us for this. Thank you so much for everybody who sent in their comments to me, who sent in their news tips. We appreciate you helping us cover the news here at Right Side Broadcasting. Thanks so much to our moderators in the chat room, JC, Lynn Jean, Barbara Braley, Real Frank, Guinevere. Who else was there today? I know I'm forgetting people. I think Pam C. might have been there, Jan. So thanks, and Common Sense and Gleno on the website. Thank you. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Right Side Broadcasting, on Twitter at RSB Network. Also, if you like the video, we're not big. We can't even afford to advertise. So if you like the video, share it. Share it on Facebook. Like it on YouTube. When you like the video on YouTube, that tells YouTube to share it with people. So we love when you like our videos on YouTube and share them on Facebook. That's a big help to us. So that's the story for now. We have a crazily false ballistic missile incoming alert that was sent out to people living in Hawaii on TV and on phones. And they spent it seems like at least for a lot of them, until Tulsi Gabbard sent out her tweet 12 minutes later, they thought this was real. It said it's not a drill. And the official alert that this was a false alarm didn't go out till 38 minutes after this. So that's pretty crazy. I'm sure there will be an investigation into this. FCC is investigating. The governor says he's investigating. So I'll post, if I hear more news about it, I'll post it on my Twitter. But for now, thank you for joining us for our coverage today, everybody. And thank you, everybody in the chat room. Thank you. Some people in the chat room are saying thanks, so I want to say thanks back. Jason Thornton, thank you. Maze, RBLX, Light Switch, DM, Christine Bestian, thank you. Jasmine Guthrie, Mr. Gossamer, Shane Taylor, thank you. Howard Newsom. And everybody else there in the chat room. Thanks for watching. And if there's breaking news later today, of course, whatever that breaking news is, we will come on the air. So keep an eye out for Right Side Broadcasting. But for now, I am Steve Lookner. Thank you for joining us for our live coverage today. We hope you have a good rest of your day and rest of the weekend. Maybe we'll see you soon with more breaking news. But for now, I am Steve Lookner. Have a great day, everybody. And from all of us here at Right Side Broadcasting, thanks for joining us.